Hi everybody, this is Mr. Rocco, and today we're going to be simulating a journey through the rock cycle. So we're going to be playing a dice game to better understand some of the different things that can happen to a rock in the rock cycle. So the first thing it says, from what you know about the rock cycle, do you predict that rocks will spend the same amount of time at each station? Do rocks cycle through all of the parts of the rock cycle equally? So what we're going to do in this simulation is we're going to travel between 11 different stations. And these stations are either going to be a type of rock or a process in the rock cycle. So on this document, there are the 11 different stations that are listed, and each station has directions that you're going to be following. So the first station is compaction and cementation. The next station is high pressure and temperature. The next station is then this sediments. Then we have igneous rock to the surface, metamorphic rock, sedimentary rock, melting, cooling and hardening, magma, and weathering and erosion. So we have 11 different stations. So you're going to be playing a dice game. So you're going to start this game by picking a station to start at. You can start at any station you would like to. You can start out at a rock, or you can start out at a process in the rock cycle station. And what you're going to be doing is rolling the dice, and the number that you get that you roll is going to correspond to what you're going to do. So we're going to go through a demo here, and we'll see how to complete this. So as you're working through this game, you're going to be recording your data so that we can better understand the rock cycle. So before you actually play the game, you need to make a prediction, and you need to write about do you think rocks will spend the same amount of time at each station? Do you think the rocks will cycle through all the parts of the rock cycle equally? So of those 11 different stations, do you think that your rock is going to spend the same amount of time at each station? Or do you think they're going to not necessarily go to all the different stations? So you're going to come up with a prediction. Then it says, record the station where you're starting your rock cycle journey. Roll the die at your station and record where it tells you to go next to the number 1. Go to the station that your die indicated. You will do this each time you roll the die. If you roll the die and it indicates you are to stay at the station, then write the station that you are remaining at for that roll number and wait your turn to roll the die again. Alright, so here we go. I'm going to pick a station to start at, and I'm going to start at sediments. And I'm going to roll my die. In Schoology, in the directions, there's a link to a virtual dice. If you're in class, we'll have real physical dice that we'll use, but I'm going to roll the dice. So I ended up getting a 3. So what I do is I go down to my directions and I look at, so I rolled a 3. It says ice is wedging in between a crack in a rock and breaking off little pieces of sediment, physical weathering. Then go to, so stay. So I'm going to stay at this station. So I'm going to go back to my recording sheet, and I'm going to start at, I'm going to write the station I started at, which was sediments. And for station 1, I rolled a 3, and I'm going to be staying at this station. So I'm going to write the name of that station down, because I stayed there. Alright, I'm going to try rolling it again. Okay, got a 1. So I'll go back to my station. Okay, so 1. Water is beating the rocky shoreline and breaking off tiny pieces of sediment, which drift to the bottom of the ocean. where you are then deposited, deposition, and layers. So then it says, then go to compaction and cementation. So I'm going to go to the compaction and cementation station, which is right here. And then I'm going to roll the dice again. But first, I'm going to record where I'm at. So I'm at the compaction and cementation. And so I'm going to roll the dice again. Got a 1 again. That's nice. And it says, after millions of years of being stuck under layers of sediment, you're now cemented together into sedimentary rock. So then you're going to go to the sedimentary rock station. Okay, so then I would go to sedimentary rock, which is right here. I'm at the sedimentary rock station. And so I would record where I'm at again. So I'm at the sedimentary rock station. Oops. And so you'll just keep working your way through this data table. After you've rolled the dice at least 20 times, you'll be finished. Oops, I spelled that wrong. With this part of the simulation. So the next part is you're going to create a rock cycle diagram by drawing arrows to show the order that your rock took through the rock cycle. If you have a station twice, you're going to draw a loop around it, and I'll show you. So I started out at sediments, so I'm just going to put an X where I started, and then I went to sediments, so I'm going to draw a loop like this because I went back there. Then I went to compaction and cementation, so then I'm going to draw my arrow. Oops, I'll do this like this. So I'll draw my arrow. And then I went to sedimentary rock, so I'm going to draw another arrow. And so you're going to trace the path. If you go to a station twice, like let's say I stayed at sedimentary rock, so then I would basically just draw this loop like this because I stayed there more than one time, okay? So you're going to trace your path through the rock cycle so we can see what's happening. And then lastly, there are some analysis questions that you're going to be working on. So there's questions 1, 2, 3, and 4, where you're going to be summarizing and reflecting on your rock cycle journey. So the purpose of this assignment is to take on the role of a rock and to simulate what it would be like to actually travel through the rock cycle. So you're going to submit this assignment to Schoology when it is complete. Have a good day.